era of true democracy. I've forgotten how he said it. But in other words, all he was saying there is that Abiola is a symbol of democracy. And I was looking at the baboon called Peter. And then I was asking myself, didn't this monkey know that Abiola sank Bible in the Atlantic Ocean even before the announcement, before the election? He has prepared to destroy Christianity. I was asking myself again, didn't this Mugu know that Obi, I'm sorry, what is it? Didn't the Obi Mugu know that Abiola was a Muslim? His running mate was, or his vice president, because he won. Abiola was a Muslim. His running mate, Muslim. Their own Muslimano, their own Muslimization, their own Fulanization, their own Islamization is chronic one. Abiola is a chronic Muslim. Chronic. More. What is his name? Tinubu is not even a Muslim man compared to Abiola or King Ibe. So when we are talking, let us remember, not because he won the election. Yes, we know he won. Nigerians voted him. But what I'm asking, why were Nigerians so blind to see that this man is a Muslim agenda coming in? Is today all of una siam because una no give will be present una the siam. The same pastors that say yesterday that the same so-called men of God that yesterday we are chanting, Tinubu will die, he will not be president. They are now today telling us that Tinubu is the will of God. We selected Obi for our own will. Today, Tinubu and God will put them there to do something different. Fools! Umokok everywhere. Their agenda has been said, has been written, listen, they don't open door for the agenda manifestation. The agenda is now being carried out step by step.
Mazugo, wait, make I help you. Mazugo, can you hear me?
I didn't hear you.
Can you hear me? Make I help you because you just talk something.
I announce to you, son, your agenda for Nigeria cannot stand. Lakwa shatwa kapa, iliketeke babarata tasi, zedikele pika fika zuka latatara, zashkalala, ikokabalafi eteferetina, iskelefika luke paratea, yes! I announce to you, Satan, your agenda for Nigeria cannot stand.
Nice one day. Welcome to the studio.
Yeah, my brother, thank you.
So, I'm the Paulo, sorry, welcome. I know they laugh God though. I know they laugh church. Waiting at the laugh will be say, say sometimes we go there pray, God will bless us. God go bless you. You know go know say God don't bless you. You go see there and say, God will bless me by fire. Who hold my blessing? God will kill him by fire. You they ask God. You they ask God for agenda. Which agenda? You say make it die by fire. Agenda will die by. Is it Muslim agenda that will die by fire? Wait, as he say he know the fear. Why you know say every Muslim agenda against Nigeria will die? Why you know they talk so? Which agenda? If not Muslim agenda, why you know talk every Islamization agenda will die? Why you know they pray that kind of prayer? And besides, if anybody have been praying like I used to say, if anybody have been praying sincerely for Nigeria and you want to know the will of God for Nigeria, God has revealed the will of God. He has revealed his will for Nigeria, and his will is what you have heard from El-Rufai. So it is left for you to decide. If you love it, stay. If you don't love it, if you don't like it, find your way and waka, of which we don't like the agenda of Nigeria, as God has revealed through the mouth of El-Rufai. So that is why we want to go home. We want to go home. We don't want to remain there. Thank you. Okay, Mazi Sonny is having some difficulties. Mazi Paul, you are welcome. And Mazi Biafra Unite, you are welcome as well. So Mazi Paul, just say hello to Biafrans before Sonny go come back here.
Hello, Biafrans. Thank you. Thank you, Biafrans. We are 555 Vision. Now, the game is now playing to your own understanding. That is simple. The pastors, it has no meaning. But Jesus, they are worshiping, says, seek ye first the kingdom of God. Every other thing you are praying inside church will be added on to you in the land of Biafra. Simple. At least you can understand this one. But nobody understands it. This is comedian pastors, you call them. And you check in Nigeria, you can see that comedy dominated everywhere. We call them comedian pastors. And the people like a comedy. And the Fulanis took advantage of people, indigenous Nigerians, under comedy. They call them comedians. They go to church, they sing, they dance, that they love dancing. They love enjoyment. They don't know that they are entering. They say, build your house on a solid rock in Biafran land, where it will be well protected. So, thank you. Okay, should I go on?
Sorry, yeah, you are welcome, my brother. Let's see until Sonny come back. Let Biafra Unite greet Biafrans, because this is Sonny's program, it's not me. Okay. The Kuku himself said he is not free. He's too busy. He's too occupied. Okay, you're welcome, Master Sonny. Are you okay now to go? Yeah, Master Sonny. No. Okay, go.
If you don't come back, can you hear me?
Okay. Okay. Yes, we be like say I go hear you. I dey hear you.
Okay. That video where we carry come now to connect dots so that make we understand. Say, Ikuku, we salute you from here. Mazio Ubiko, we salute you. Welcome to the studio. Because network kicked me out when you were talking. When I say Fulani they educate people inside their mosque. Say make una prepare una trenches and una knives and una weapons because we don't reach time to fight the jihad war, the holy war. But waiting, our pastors were doing. Our pastors were telling you, Hashakara baba 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 baba, Hashakara baba 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 baba, Hashakara baba 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 baba. Evil plans for Nigeria war, but the evil plan don't work.
Yeah, Master Sonny, the thing they hook you. Anyway. Their evil plan are working and they will continue to work because you are not working for your own to work. You are helping them to actualize, fulfill their own agenda. You are helping the Funanis to actualize their agenda. Go read the Bible. From the time the Israelites left to Egypt till they entered the promised land, did they hear them fast and they pray for anything for God to give them their land? Did you hear them? Did you see anywhere they mapped out and pray in tongue for God to come and kill their enemy and destroy their enemy's agenda? Did you hear any? All you will hear is take over, fight, kill, command from God. And you are here telling people, you will gather people on Monday from morning till night. You are praying. Tuesday, praying. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You pray from Monday to Monday, from Sunday to Sunday, every day, 247. You are praying. Yet, what you are praying, you have not gotten one single answer. And you are simply, why can't you ask yourself, how long are we going to remain in this? Master Paulo, can I go?
You know, this is my area. This is my area. Because Biafrans, they said if you want to eat bitter leaf, yeah, and you know that bitter leaf is bitter, you go very close to that bitter leaf and they tell the bitter leaf that you are bitter. Then you pluck the leaf or that bitter leaf and the chew. Then the bitter leaf will not bitter you again. These pastors, these reverend fathers, these deacons and deaconesses, they are the willing tools which the Fulanis used to Islamize Nigeria. They have been preaching that the God of Elijah, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, God of David, God of David, the man of war, God of Joshua, the man of war. And these people knew that everything that happened inside Bible is all about war. Conquer and conquer, kill and kill, kill and kill. But when they want to analyze the thing, they will tell you that the war belongs now to God, that God has fought your own war, and him is the pastor. Remember that Nnamdi Kanu, our leader, defined them and give them a name. He called them what he called Olympic pastors. And these people will say that they are the GOs, general overseers. Then they will say, okay, you bring your money, bring your tithe, give it to me. That his own job is to pray for you while you are on night. They contributed to laziness inside the life of our people. They contributed to this joblessness in the life of our people. They contributed a lot to all this Islamization. They are the people who promoted all these political criminals, political elites in Igbo land. When they are also the people who made children in Biafran land, when you are going to school, studying, they are impacting inside any student on how to enter inside politics, and they rob money. You rob public money and they come home and they develop your own house. Then they give you chieftaincy title. Then the other one, you will take it and they pay offering and the tithe church. The whole church members will then come and they pray for you because God has blessed you for robbing their own money. The money that belongs to me, they allocated the money to build the road, to build the electricity. Some pastor prayed for to become a politician for him by his own. You understand? And the same person will then return to church. The whole masses will come and pray and promote the same person. They run the brain of those people. The same pastors will hold other people in hostage. When someone is sick, they tell you that your papa is the person who is doing. The person is suffering for cancer. The person is suffering for diabetes. The person is suffering for stomach pains. your sister, because that business you did the other day in Onitsha, that you buy a car and you begin eating fat meat, which later provoked diabetes inside your body. Then they will turn up and tell you that he is a prophet. This man now your uncle is the person who is doing you. From there, you become see how this enmity entered. Deacons and deaconesses, ndị a na-afụ ụzọ, ndị a na-asụkpọ ha prophet, they are the willing tools used to downgrade our people. Look at the kind of language they are speaking. Who language? They call it heavenly language. Heavenly language, when you make more noise. You build more churches, more than people can work for a job where there is no company, no breaker on the street. I wonder the kind of, and now Peter will be, you know why one thing that is happy, one thing that is really, really good inside all this thing we are doing is God used it to be to expose every one of them. God used Peter to be to bring all these pastors to let them know that God does not answer prayer in that way. God will answer prayer when you stand up for justice, equity, and the fairness. That is when God will answer prayer. Europeans during 1700 to 1800, Europeans has been suffering like this, thinking that somebody will appear on the sky to save them and give them everything they need. But time comes by, as time goes by, Europeans later understand that that person is not coming the way they think, because he is a person who died and he resurrected. He said he will come. Then they took the idea and say it is better for them to begin to build that imagination of paradise in their own land. That's why you see Europe, they build all these mansions. America built all this you see everywhere in Europe today, in America today, in Asia today. That imagination of paradise, they say in my father's house there are many mansions. The mansion is here in Europe. The mansion is there in America. The mansion is there in Asia. The pastors in Nigeria should turn up and understand that the way they expected the work of God and the work of Jesus Christ is not the way it's supposed to be. Mazugo, carry on, please.
Okay, Mazi Sonny.
Wait, Mazi, whether the network.
Yeah, the network done. Okay. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me, Mazi?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Maybe
yes.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yes, but you know that. Excuse me. You remember we will soon be going live again on joint broadcast. That's just what I want to tell you.
Yeah.
We have joint broadcast now.
That is okay. By 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Biafra. That's 7 p.m. Biafra time, Abi.
Okay.
Yes.
I will stay offline to attend it because I want to go out. If we have, I want to, then let me check out and do some things and to know if I will return.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So please take excuse for me in case if I come late. Huh?
There.
Yeah, my brothers.
Time don't reach for this video to play. No one play now. We go vex, so if we vex now, they go say we do bad.
The network, the warrior.
That's even Nasser El Rufai was in a video while addressing the Islamic Muslim ticket in the state will be 50 years by the grace of God. According to El Rufai, and I quote, "What we succeeded in doing in Kaduna has now been repeated across the country. There is no liar that would come out and build his political campaign in the name of Christianity and win election. Peter Obi has tried it, but you have seen where he is now," end of quote. In the viral video on social media, El Rufai further said that the victory of Bola Tinubu had silenced the Christian Association of Nigeria, that he will sustain an Islamic-dominated government for 20 years and on ending not only in Kaduna State, but in Nigeria at large.
Duk da taron dangin da aka yi, duk da addini da aka yi amfani da shi, Allah ya ba nasara.
First of all, they did not use imam attire to wear that time where they do films, where they go to Muslim endorsement. I did not see one Alhaji photo or one Alhaji attire where they use. Now only fake bishops of the Christendom. Now they use, they do that Muslim ticket endorsement that time. So, oh my God. So when you see all those people shouting, ask them, what are they in?
Abinda muka Kaduna yanzu an yi shaka. Babu wani makaryaci da zai zo ya ce, zai fito ya ce shi zai yi siyasa na Kiristanci ya ci zaɓe. Peter Obi ya yi ga inda yake. An yi maganin wannan, dole suka yi shuru. Tun da Asiwaju ya ci zaɓe kan tsit. To da haka ne za a samu zaman lafiya a ƙasar nan. To shi ma ka gani aka sake aka ƙara komi sai abin da muka yi kenan. Ni da wasu daga cikin mu a ganin mu mun gama aikin.
Joining us now from Kaduna State to react to the viral video of Nasser El Rufai is Reverend John Joseph Hayab, Chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria in Kaduna State. Good morning and welcome to the morning show, Reverend.
Thank you and good morning to all Nigerians.
Well, Reverend, yesterday we took a look at video and I was artificial intelligence, being used to say things. And that perhaps, this could be an artificial intelligence, conditioned video. But if it is not, since it has not been denied.
Now, before we go on, when you listen to Abati said the video could have been made by robot. The video could have been made by Photoshop. But when Obedient was saying, yes, daddy, Abati did not say that the video is a robot. He did not say that the voice is Photoshop voice. Now, we don't reach na Fulani Toka. Erufai say Toka from his own narrative. But based on the fact, say Erufai never come deny him. Now, do you see the level of journalism that the media of a country is using, the way they play partisan politics in journalism? A Biafran man, they did not say that video or voice will have to do with something that is cooked up. Because he was a Biafran, his own case was made to ring the bell. Fulani now, they tell us say na machine na take talk am before, but now we they change our mind because we never see him come deny. But I want you people to listen to this Christian Association of Nigeria official. Make una just use una free mind, listen to this man so that una go pick something and understand the ignorance, the way this Christian Association of Nigeria have been ignoring the dangers that are coming. That is why we took time to play the antecedent videos beginning from before the election so that you understand how far El-Rufai and the Fulani terrorists have been planning something. So when you now listen to this Christian Association of Nigeria, you now hear that he is claiming to be ignorant of everything that has been happening. That means he does not know what has been happening, he is in the dark. Make una just listen first.
By the outgone governor of Kaduna State, was it not in actual stating the truth that the Christian community was so absent-minded, it allowed itself to be deceived, and now after the fact, Christian Association of Nigeria is now complaining and all of that. The Muslim proposition, was it not obvious enough?
Let me thank you for inviting me, and to be honest with you, this video in the first place is real because that is El-Rufai for you. Some of us have known El-Rufai for saying this kind of things, for plotting this kind of issues, and for masterminding this whole thing. And many people thought we were just fighting or we're stopping something else. God has helped us for him to come out publicly and make Nigerians know who exactly is El-Rufai.
So you people did not know who El-Rufai was. You waited for God to make El-Rufai to come out to make Nigeria know. All this while that IPOB have been telling you this and telling you that El-Rufai has been doing many things. And you people were waiting for God to bring El-Rufai first. How many people have been massacred for the past 3 years now? Or how many people have been massacred for the past 1 month, in the last month of El-Rufai's in office? El-Rufai reported a video where he said, we know where the terrorists are. We listen to their conversations and their phone calls. We know what they plan. We communicate with them, but we don't want to bomb them. And the Christian Association of Nigeria were the victims of the people that this Fulani terrorist that El-Rufai was talking about massacred, raped, and bombed and destroyed. And when he was saying that, Christian Association of Nigeria was still taking them not to be serious. They were waiting for what? For God to come and bring El-Rufai to come and expose to Nigerians again in 2023. After like over 5 million have been massacred already. Christian Association of Nigeria have buried many of their officials from this Kaduna State and from many other sides. But there's one thing you should be asking yourself. Most of the northern governors don't come out to make such declarations, such bounty declarations about the Fulani terrorists or the backing of the terrorists in the north. But it is always El-Rufai. Now, Dr. Mai Lafia was killed because he got the intel and the information about the plans of the Fulani terrorists. And then he relayed the information to the Christian Association of Nigeria for Christians to go on a month or weeks sit at home to protest. But the Christian Association of Nigeria turned deaf ears to the advice of Mai Lafia. And Mai Lafia was what? Massacred in cold blood because he gave the information he got to people that does not take anything serious. Rather, they are only focused on their tithe and offering and which church will be the biggest church, which church will own private jets, which church will has the biggest cathedral, which church will have the highest tithe and offering, which church will preach well, which church will do miracle pass, which church will speak in tongues fast, while their congregation members are being kidnapped and massacred and raped and cut to pieces each and every day. And what they will come back to do is, God, take control. God, come and intervene in Nigeria. When God has already given you the intervention of you channeling the right message to the congregation, you refuse. Instead of it to preach for them to wake up and then fight, carry their weapons, that you are in a time of war, that there is time for war and there is time for peace. When the Fulani terrorist picks up arms against you, kidnap you, that you should be looking for your own machete. You should be looking for your own guns to defend them. But Christian Association of Nigeria will be telling you it is time to preach peace. It is time to go and carry Bible and do fasting and prayers. Fasting and prayers. It is the spiritual. The same fasting and prayers that you do, the Fulani terrorists does same. And when they finish doing that fasting and prayers, which is the spiritual, they now come to the physical. Why does the Bible say that we faces what? Spiritual warfare. Because you have to face the spiritual and then you come to the physical. The physical is when you now go to sell your garment, sell your car, sell your house, sell your private jet, and then go and procure your weapon so that you use it to fight. Fulani terrorists go finish, pray with their Quran, and then they now go and carry AK-47 and their knives, and then they come out for the physical warfare. But while those ones are coming for the physical warfare, Christian Association of Nigeria is telling you to continue to do the spiritual warfare. Somebody is killing you with knife and AK-47. Christian Association of Nigeria is telling you to do what? To shout, blood of Jesus, Holy Mary, blood of Jesus, and use a Bible to do, I ban you, in the name of Jesus, I block you, Bible, one form against prosper. I block you with Bible. I block you with Bible. How will Bible go and block Fulani terrorists when it is coming with knife and machete? All the Christian Association of Nigeria officials that have been cut to pieces and their head hung on a spike, and then the Fulani terrorists make video of it on the media. Did they not have Bible with them? Is that our people are dying because of lack of knowledge and understanding? Because if you understand the Bible that you have, you will understand the correct interpretation of it. That when you are faced with physical weapon, you should look for physical weapon to defend yourself. When you are faced with spiritual weapon, you should also look for spiritual weapon to defend yourself. But what the Christian Association of Nigeria is that they turn the Bible upside down. They preach the one that will favor them in tithe and offering, while the congregation continue to feel the brunt of one Nigeria. This is the problem that is making the Muslim ticket to come to reality. They did not use the imams in the mosque to wear that hijab to do the Muslim ticket when they do it. They used the bishop's garment to do it. And when they did it, we made awareness. Yes, Mazigo, there we go. We made awareness. Even our PM to explain something to you people, that these people are coming and they are using the Christendom to deceive you. People should go. The bishop said, no, forget it. They are just doing drama. The drama that they were doing have come to actualization today. And all the people that they used to do it, some of them, you will not see them again tomorrow. Mazugo, say something before you go, because I will soon run up.
Okay, I'm muted. Sorry. Okay, dear friends, it happened in the show. Everything we have been repeating the same thing. After saying it, we begin again. Had it been we talk and we go understand them and the follow, we for no get need for going back. But the point is that after explaining it, some non-entities, some fools go come out from nowhere and make some of us to forget, and they will deceive some of us. That is why we will always come back. But no problem. We are happy now that many, at least 80% Biafrans have now come to understand or realize that there is nothing like one Nigeria anywhere, or will there be anything like peace in that country anywhere. It's either you join them in the way of being Islamized, or you join Biafra. And you know what it means? When you think you are smart, you run to Lagos. Lagos, you are not safe. You are not safe anywhere except you are free. And it will be, like I used to say, a time will come in that zoological republic when people will be scared of you because you are Biafran. The only reason why people will not mob you or Funani will be scared of touching you is because you are a Biafran. Thank you, Biafrans. I throw a salute to give una from here. We will meet again very soon. Thank you, Mazi.
Thank you, Mazugo. See you. So we must continue.
If you have known Erufai in the past 20 years, and you watch this video now, then you will know that this is the Erufai you know, because Erufai have not changed. Erufai just remain a chameleon. Erufai just remain a pretense. Erufai just remain who he is every day, thinking he will outsmart people by playing games. But God has helped us that he openly say out his mind. But let me put it clear, that for even thinking that the victory of Asiwaju was a Muslim thing shows the problem with the man called Erufai. You see, the problem with the man is actually living in complex. Every day he thinks people look down on me. People see I'm not fit to be. So he said things to show his might. He act in way to show his might. Everybody knew that the victory of Asiwaju, whatever others are contesting in court is not our concern, was a collective voting by Christians. In the first place, Benue State is over 90% Christian. Asiwaju won there. So will you say that there were no Christian votes? River State, you will say there were no Christian votes, and you can go on and on and on and look at other states. So I don't even understand the argument. But you see, Nigerians must know why Erufai is doing what he is doing. And Nigerians need to understand the game behind all these comments. Erufai is up to something. And I'm going to say.
Now, for the record, and to correct something, your votes as Christians did not count in this selection of elections. It was not elections. What was selection? But the Christian Association of Nigeria bishop here cannot open his mouth to tell you the election was rigged. That the numbers and data that was recorded was not the numbers that were actually counted. That it was not the numbers of the Christians that you portrayed from your mouth that actually selected the people that came to be. No, it was the rigging. It was the super rigging, the way it is in one night.
Doing this so that Nigerians will understand and don't waste their time arguing and debating on a man who is up for an agenda that we will watch and see whether it will materialize.
All right.
The problem with the Christian Association of Nigeria is always that they say they should not take the man serious, that he is wasting his time. You see? The same way that these Fulani terrorists were playing with the Muslim ticket from the very beginning, and they paved way from that time till now, and then they achieved every plan that they had. When they started it, this is the same way that the Christian Association of Nigeria said, do not take them serious, ignore them. Today, did they not achieve what they wanted? They have achieved it. And now he is also concluding that the man is working for an agenda. Now, he has, as a man is working for an agenda, but he does not want to open his mouth to tell the world that this super agenda that the man is working for is the jihad agenda. Can you see the fear in the mouth of the Christian Association of Nigeria that cannot open their mouth and then speak of the congregation that they vow to preach to? So they will either be speaking from both sides of their mouth, but cannot on the head, so that their congregation members will understand where the main problem is. What is the agenda? And if you're someone working for an agenda, why are you telling the same congregation that you have that they should ignore him? The same way you say ignore him for over how many years now, and for the past 3 weeks, over 150 people in Plateau State have been massacred because you said they should ignore the Fulani, Islamic, and the jihad plan. But your people are falling off every day. 150 were buried that the governor of Plateau is complaining now. But this man here is telling you, ignore Erufai. While more people will be buried again and they will be packing the dead bodies and they will tell you, ignore, ignore. That is why the Biafran Republic government in exile is telling you that we are not ignoring anything in Biafra land. We are taking control of Biafra land. That is why we are making sure our borders and our regions and our villages and women and men and children are protected. So that of these people that you see here on the screen is Christian Association of Nigeria, their lopsidedness and their lackadaisical attitude will not take our children and our women and men to their early graves. We see and understand what this error for the people of one Nigeria. So we are not going to listen to what he's saying here when he said the people should not take him serious. No, you have to take them serious because they have been massacring people for years. Because of this attitude of don't take them serious is the reason the people in your churches does not come to the proper understanding of the jihad that is ongoing in Nigeria. We are in a systematic war, which they annihilate, which they do what desolate communities, and then cut babies to pieces, cut pregnant women wombs into two, remove babies and slaughter them to pieces. And then a Christian association official is opening his mouth to tell you, do not take the Islamic agenda, the Fulanization agenda serious. That means he is doing what? Deceiving the congregation.
Right. Okay. So I hear you that it's an agenda, and this is not new to particularly the Christian community in Kaduna State. But let's examine the weight of his statement. I'm sure you watched during the introduction where he said that even though you deny the fact that it wasn't just Muslims who voted for him, that the Christian community also contributed to his votes. A statement you made in 2019 as well. And you had the different parts of Kaduna State where they're majorly Christian who voted for the governor, Nasir El-Rufai. Said that at the end of the day, it didn't matter anyway, having a Muslim team run for office during his tenure and now the new governor. What do you make of that? How strong is the Christian community state, the Christian Association of Nigeria, and the position of the Christian Association of Nigeria in response to this view?
Let me put it this way. El-Rufai is fond of making these allegations and then turn out to water it down. In 2015, after the election, El-Rufai said in one of the television interviews that actually the Christian Southern Kaduna did not vote for him. Personally, I did not talk to him on phone. I went and sat one-on-one on him. Then I was in the camp chairman and I confronted him. I gave him just 3 examples. One, in Jamaa local government of Kaduna State, the total vote cast that year was 86,000 votes. El-Rufai got 39,600 and the PDP candidate of that year got 40,000 or 40-something thousand 900. And I put it up. How will you say get the mayor? And I got 47.8% of their vote. You can see the requirement he needed was just 25%. He got over 40%. I even went further to tell him, Kachia local government, the total vote cast was around 60-something thousand. The difference between you and the other candidate was just 1,000 votes. So you got almost 49,000. He admitted it is true. In Sanga local, Kagarko local government, you even got that local government. And I went further to tell him about Kauru and others. And that ended the argument and the lies that he didn't get Christian votes. Even in 2029, because the requirement of the law is that you need to have 25% in 2/3 or 1/3 of the local governments. And he couldn't have gotten that without the local governments of Christians. But you see, I need to let Nigerians know, we have ever played this religious card. People are pretending I don't want to speak about it. Buhari, in all the 3 initial attempts he had to be president, played all these games and it never worked on him. But because he had played that game,
it worked on Buhari and it worked for him. During Buhari's tenure, over 100,000 for the past 8 years that Buhari has been in power have been massacred by the Fulani terrorists. These are the ignoramus that you see here. You see this man they call Christian Association of Nigeria official. These are the ignoramus. He's telling you that the card of the Muslim ticket and the religious differences that El-Rufai is trying to play that Buhari tried to play that did not work for Buhari. This man is making you to understand that have been massacred in the past 8 years, that it is nothing to him. He is not aware. Over 100,000 people have been recorded to have been massacred and buried in shallow graves for the past 8 years of Buhari's tenure. And a Christian Association of Nigeria who has buried many of his officials under this same Muslim and Islamic ticket and tenure of Buhari and that of this 2023 that has just been a match. This man is telling you that he did not work out for Buhari. If he did not work out for Buhari, that means this man is just claiming to be ignorant of everything that's happening. Under Buhari, Buhari offered 100 billion compensation to Fulani terrorist herdsmen. Under Buhari presidency, killer herdsmen are not terrorists. Now, under Buhari presidency, repentant terrorists to enjoy foreign education. And this bill was passed in the Senate. And then they passed it into power, and then it went on. Under the same Buhari, global terrorism, Nigerian Fulani militant named 4th deadliest group in the world. The numbers are there, and the numbers are there. Now, under Buhari here, you see that bandits and terrorists took over many local governments in Borno State. Under Buhari, over 8 local governments have been under the control of Fulani terrorists for the past 8 years. And you don't hear film from anywhere. This has happened under Buhari. But this man here, who called this himself Christian Association of Nigeria Bishop, is telling you that the ethnic bigotry, the Fulanization agenda, the jihad, the holy war did not play out well during Buhari's tenure. That means this man is evil. And this man are the people endorsing the massacre of the children of the Christianhood.
Then he went into alliance with other political parties and eventually became president. El-Rufai is living in that dream that he could play this religious game.
El-Rufai is not living in a religious dream. El-Rufai is actually fulfilling the plan of Osman Danfodio. El-Rufai is actually fulfilling the plan of the colonization agenda, which you claim to be ignorant about. This is why Christians are being massacred every day in one Nigeria, because you preachers of the Christianhood are not coming to the terms and understanding of what is actually happening to the Christianhood. All the people massacred in the north, they are all Christians. You will not see anyone that is the same Fulani sect. So it is a religious war. It is the Fulanization agenda. It is the takeover. It is the holy war that they call it. But the Christian Association of Nigeria official is now telling you that it is not real. I want you people that are going to church and listening to these people to understand where your problems are. I want you guys to understand what is actually happening here. This is the Christian Association of Nigeria deceiving himself that what El-Rufai is doing is not a reality. All the result of Buhari has not been a reality to him. So he's not living up to the reality to understand and to see what is actually happening. This is how they deceive you Christians into believing that Nigeria will get better, instead of them to tell you that Fulani terrorists have enmasked their weapons and waiting to take over. If this is the message they have been preaching to you, all of you that are going to church by now would have changed your mind and understand the dangers that is lying ahead of you. You would have changed your mind and understand that the government does not need you, that you need to wake up and then face the reality, defend yourselves, like T.Y. Danjuma said, that if you wait on the government, that all of you will be killed one by one because the government align and collude with the terrorists because they pay them and they sponsor them. Now, this version of Nigeria will tell me that it's not a video here.
The federal government, led by the Minister of Interior Abdulrahman Dambazel, met with the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria in Kebbi State, offering them the sum of 100 billion naira over 2 years to stop the kidnapping in the country. The meeting lasted over 4 hours on Friday as negotiations dragged on, with the association initially asking for 160 billion naira. The minister said that the strategy was part of the steps needed to tackle insecurity in the country as prescribed by the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. The headsman crisis has risen since 2015 after Muhammad Buhari became president. Their rampage has spread not only in the north but also throughout the southern zones of the country. The killings by the headsmen has led them to be tagged the fourth most dangerous and deadly terrorist group in the world by the World Terror Index. The acting Inspector General of Police, Muhammad Adamu, who was also at the meeting in Kebbi State, added that over 1,000 people have been killed and many more kidnapped in Kaduna. However, he said that this intervention was necessary to bring the criminals to book. The Kebbi State Governor Atiku Bagudu said hosting the meeting in his state shows the seriousness of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration in tackling the security challenges in the country. Responding, the president of the association, Alhaji Muhammad Kirua, said the meeting would serve as a foundation for peace between the Fulani headsmen and farmers and among Fulanis themselves. Roots TV, Nigeria.
Now, the Christian Association of Nigeria officials, from every indication of his statement here, that he is ignorant of this video that I just played here, of this report that I just played here, where over thousands were massacred and where over thousands are in IDP camps. And calculating for the past 8 years of Buhari administration, over 100,000 shows on the scorecard of how many people that have been massacred. And a Christian Association of Nigeria, who claims to be leading the Christianhood in Nigeria, is deceiving the Christendom by making them not to understand the reality on ground and for them to continue to be dying in the hands of the Fulani terrorists.
Tomorrow become the president of Nigeria, and Nigerians are. So it's not the matter whether people are angry or whether the statements are weighty. El-Rufai is just talking about himself. El-Rufai has no respect for Islam. El-Rufai has no respect for the even Islamic.
El-Rufai is not talking for himself. Moron. You are a moron because El-Rufai is not talking for himself. El-Rufai is talking for the jihad. He's talking for the Muslim ticket. He's for his own kingsmen. He's for the plan that they have for the Fulanization agenda of the entire country. I don't know, even the elite of the Muslim sect have sense in their brains more than you, a Christian Association of Nigerian official. Rufai is speaking the agenda of the Islamic religion, and you are here telling the entire world that Rufai is speaking for himself. No. If you said that Rufai was speaking for himself, when Rufai canvassed for the Muslim ticket, was it for himself? When they played the video in the mosques, teaching all of them in the mosques that for the Muslim ticket to come to accomplishment, that it is a win-win for them and it is a must accomplish because it is jihad. Where were you? That you are here deceiving the audience? Because this is the kind of video that Arise TV, Channels Television, NTA, and One Nigerian Conventional Media, they will love to portray and to push to go forward without coming to the understanding of the message that the man is passing there, deceiving the masses. And when all of you will sit down to listen to this kind of video, you will be cajoled into believing that One Nigeria is a safe place. Whereas your communities are not safe. Being available without Mazi Nnamdi Kanu being alive has the God sent that God brought to the Biafran people. All of you in One Nigeria would have been buried by now. The Fulani Ruga that they brought, they would have finished your lands now. They would have taken over everything and everywhere. And here you are blabbing your mouth, deceiving yourself that Rufai is speaking for himself. Rufai is not speaking for himself, he's speaking for the jihadist group. So come back to your senses and stop deceiving the Christian religion that are there in One Nigeria.
Make clear. El-Rufai is just doing everything for himself to want and not
doing it for himself to do what he wants. He's doing jihadist group. So get it and explain it better. Stop deceiving the audience. Christian Association of Nigeria, deceiving the people left, right, center, and the people will hear the rubbish and then they will follow it instead of them to know that it is time for them to go and pick their weapons and face the war that is before them.
Not about the religion and not about the people. And two, El-Rufai is deliberately also setting a trap, setting a slippery ground for Bola Tinubu, because the moment this system hit it, then people will, so we know the difference between El-Rufai.
The trap has already been there for many years. So El-Rufai is not setting the trap now. El-Rufai is telling you point blank to point blank. This is one thing about you Christians. You love to run away from the truth and keep on hiding behind the scene. Whereas the Fulani terrorists are coming to tell you, face to face, telling you the reality, the way it is, and telling anybody the Fulani terrorists are doing their own physically. This is how during the election they were telling you to their they are preaching Muslim chicken. What did you do? You people were running behind the scene because you don't want to speak that way. You don't want to be deceived. You don't want to be seen as someone that is speaking against the country. You don't want to be someone that is speaking to spark ethnic bigotry in the country. No, what were you doing? You people are hiding behind the scene. Hiding behind the scene, but the Fulani terrorists are coming to tell you their own, that the Muslim ticket is a must achieved. And they have worked and achieved it. They were preaching it all over the mosque. They opened their mouth to say it in the open that it means jihad. That is when all of you bishops and pastors were preaching, pray for Nigeria, make Nigeria to become better, make Nigeria to become better. No! You are deceiving yourselves. And you have deceived over 100,000 of Nigerians that have been massacred for the past 8 years by Buhari administration. And yet, El-Rufai is telling you to your face again now, after they have finished massacre over 100 people for the past 8 years, he's telling you now to your face that they are going to continue the jihad plan, no matter what happens to the next 20 years. And into the reality and facing Kodo and face the reality and then changing your messages in your churches for the people to understand what you are bound to see. What are you saying? What you are Rufai is speaking for himself. He's not going to do that. No. Rufai and the terrorist elite and the jihadist plan, they will do what they have planned. The only group of people that will plan, activate, and achieve their plan, even if it takes them 50 years and above, is what? The jihadist group. The jihadist group, while you people are playing body politics, emotional politics, with the lives of Christians in one Nigeria, they full on their own, and they are ready to slaughter you all. So what you guys need to do is
and Bola Tinubu and others. So I don't think there's anything Christian in Nigeria, never for once, in my knowledge, I know that Peter or Christian candidate. Nowhere. They were the same people buying young people.
Christian Association of Nigeria, not for once, say you should vote Peter Obi. You see how gullible you people are because your brains are blocked. Of Nigeria did not say so, but some of you churches were doing it fear. But what happened? This is what happened. Christian Association of Nigeria did not say so, but what happened? The Fulani Muslim ticket were in their own kodo. They were teaching you their own kodo. Look at it here. They were teaching you their. They told you their own to do. They told you their own kodo. They could not do anything because you that call yourself Christian Association of Nigeria, you don't have to open your mouth and tell your people what is the truth. Now, this is what
Musulmi muke da Najeriya. Za mu iya gwada haka ne duniya ta yadda da ka idan ka yi zaɓe kau. Wayi gari mun kada su a jiha ɗaya zuwa jiha biyu, sauran kawai riba kafa ce. Don haka katin zaɓe asbaha darura. Ya zama katin zai dole katin zaɓe wajibi, rashin zaɓe taimakawa kafirci ne ya danna musulunci a wannan halin da ake ciki. Wani zai ce 'yan takara guda uku ne, bar wannan kanta, za zo kanta, za a da za a yi, ba za mu shiga zaɓe da 'yan takara musulmi guda uku ba insha Allah. Za mu san yadda za a yi, kuma in ta kama to dai za mu nuna wa ya kamata a bi, abu guda ɗaya saura su kuri, ba wai domin ɗaya ya fi kirki ba, domin lalura ce musulmi ya rike ƙasar nan. Wajibi ne a ce musulmi ke rike, ko yaya musulmin ya.
Now, this is how the religious brothers will come inside the mosque, telling them the importance of making sure Muslim ticket come to pass, that they should not vote anybody that will come to fight the Muslim ticket. But the Christian Association of Nigeria could not open his own mouth or their own mouth to say anything same. What they were saying was, vote the Muslim ticket. They could not open their mouth to even vote for that you have, because balls. You see, the Christian Association of Nigeria could not even back up the OB for you, but they were deceiving you.
People planting lies. I can give you an example. Reverend Hayab, I met with pastors and I analyzed the political situation before the election. Before I knew what was happening on social media, it was announced. Fortunately for me, it was announced positively that I said we vote for Peter Obi, to give a picture as if Christians had really asked Christians to vote, the result of this cannot be what it is. You know, since a game, what he will do is to confuse people, to set up against Muslims, to set up Christians against the current government, and then he will stand to benefit tomorrow. Unfortunately, I will say to him, he has from the onset. He has asked to Nigerians that he is not even in the first place fit.
The Fulani terrorists have been massacring. For you to say that it is not that Erufai is trying to set up the Christians against, it means you are not in reality. You are living in the dark. Now, because of time, this same Christian Association of Nigerian officials made it very clear that communities in Ghana did not build the roads there. He made it very clear the road to favor the Christian communities in Kaduna. Yet he is telling you that Erufai is not portraying the jihad. What he's doing is to tell you the result of the Muslim ticket, because this is what they have been running away from. But the reality is there on ground, and you can see them out left, right, center. A lot of people have been massacred for the past 8 years of Buhari's administration. Over 100,000 have been massacred. That is what you need. This number again recorded in Plateau State. That the Christians of Nigeria are not telling the congregation the truth, that the Muslim has yielded the result that they wanted. The congregation can now come back to their senses and understand that there are dangers ahead of them. Now, a message to the Christian pastors and bishops and clergies and all of you preaching, praying for one Nigeria to be better, praying that Nigeria will become a better place, telling your congregations to do fasting and pray for Nigeria. If the mosque imams are teaching the people in the congregation that they should continue to fight for the Muslim, continue to fight for the jihad, and they should continue to fight for the conquest agenda of one Nigeria to take over. Then you, instead of you to now start teaching your congregation, also start praying and fighting for their own freedom, for the same Nigeria to be better. What kind of prayer are you praying? Why are you deceiving the congregations? Because I have listened to some of your audios and messages where some of you sent us audio and say, we are criticizing or we are attacking the church. We are attacking or criticizing the pastors. No, we are not attacking. We are actually doing what? Criticizing you, because criticism is the way that will make you to better your ethics. When we criticize you, it is your work to go and sit up and then criticism that we bring on the table and ask yourself, am I actually doing what these people are saying? Am I doing it right or wrong? Is it the right thing that I'm doing? If you want your family to grow and for you not to tear apart, what you need to do is to listen to your children, listen to your wives. When they complain something, you listen, you hear what they are saying, and then checkmate yourself to know whether you are actually doing what they are saying and whether it is good or bad. And you know whether you have to make amends. I want you pastors and bishops to ask one question. In the Bible that you preach, the Bible says that there is time for peace and there is time for war. There is time to smile and there is time to go. When it's time to do prayer, you do prayer with Bible, olive oil, and whatever you can use. That is spiritual. When you have to fight a physical fight, you pray. When you look at the Fulani terrorists praying in the mosque or along the road, they have their knives and their AK-47 hung on their body as the spiritual prayer that they are doing, kneeling down to pray and hitting their head on the ground, is to go and service that they are gone, go and file that their knife, go and clean their knives, and clean it very well, and then wait for when they have to carry it to go to work for the physical fight, which is to kill you and to maim you and to destroy you. Why are you now preaching to your congregation that when somebody is coming to fight you with weapon, that you should now use Bible to defend yourself? How can you use olive oil to defend yourself when somebody is coming with AK-47? Why do you, as pastors and bishops, now go with armored cars? Then you question to go with olive oil and Bible and chaplet. Why do you continue to deceive the congregation, telling them that God will come to their event, their own ordeal? But you are not believing in the same God to come to your own aid and your ordeal when you are sick. When you are sick, you use the tithe and offering that you get from the church, you fly your children to the best hospitals to go and give them treatment. But when your congregations are sick, you say they should use olive oil and Holy Bible. Why are you perpetrating the double standards? Some of you sent us messages and said, when MNK was here, he was not preaching that we should open the nyash of the pastors. Now I am asking you, that MNK that you say you believe in, since that MNK was behind bars, since he was kidnapped, what have you done to the freedom of that MNK? You pastors, especially those in Biafra land, since MNK was kidnapped, have you ever for once stood up in your congregation and then educate the Biafrans in your congregation that MNK was kidnapped against his will and that his kidnap was because of us in this congregation? What we need to do is to obey every sit at home. Have you educated the churches in the congregation to obey the sit at home and carry it out? Have you for once made them to understand that Biafra is the only way out? Or you only talk the Biafra inside your room, but when you come to the congregation, you tell them not to pray for Nigeria? Have you for once said they should declare fasting and prayer inside your church congregation and then they should do it for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or for Biafra? Have you even for once, if you cannot display Biafra flag or the picture of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in your congregation, have you even for once come out like this and then say, we are declaring this Sunday for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Biafra? Let us just sing praises to God and be calling God just for Biafra that day. In what way have you done to support the Biafra? You don't need to come and give us money, but your works is supposed to pay and show for what you do for Biafra. You own the congregation. You are the mouthpiece of the people. That is why when one Nigeria wants to destroy the people, they come to start in the churches. They come and meet the CAN, the Christian Association of Nigeria, because that is where they will direct the pastors and the bishops the kind of messages they have to preach in the congregation. They will tell them not to preach about Biafra. They will tell them to preach about the progress of Nigeria, that Nigeria will pray for Nigeria, pray for Nigeria, pray for Nigeria. Have you for once in your congregations lecture the people in the congregation about Biafra? Change their mindset and make them understand that Fulani is coming to kill them and that I cannot help them, that the only people that can help them is Biafra, and that it is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that is the figurehead of Biafra, and that there is Biafran Republic government in exile, and that there is a prime minister now that is standing in place the Biafra. You talk to your congregation to make them to embrace Biafra to the letter. What have you done in your congregation to reflect the Biafran cause? I am asking you because you know me. I will see your messages. I will listen to them. I will read them. But I will not come to speak blah, blah, blah. I will only come to be picking point to advise you and to be asking you questions. I will not come and call your names on the media. But I will be using it to pass the message, to generalize it to every other pastors and bishops. We listen to every complaint that comes, but we address them in ways that people will understand. What we want you pastors and bishops to do is to stop preaching about Nigeria in your congregations, because it is in Nigeria that is killing your church congregation members every day. The Fulani terrorists are not developing wings from Futajalon and from Kaduna and from Benue and from Kanu and from Borno to come inside Biafra land. They did not develop wings and fly to see themselves in Biafra land. No. It is the governor that you have in our state that bring them in. That is why we voted them out. That is why we passed a vote of no confidence on them. Now, how have you congregations educated, or how have you pastors or clergies or bishops or prophets educated about the Fulani terrorist that is coming and made them to understand that it is only Eastern Security Network, Biafran Liberation Army, that can safeguard your life and can save you? Because for over 60-something years that you have claimed to have independence in one Nigeria, it has been from one bronze to another. They massacre, they rape, they cut to pieces, they destroy your lives, and there is nothing good that can come. Children that finish schools cannot get jobs. All of you that even have one ideas and ideology, one Nigeria kills those ideas and dreams and ideologies, destroys your mindset and does not take you to anywhere. Over 75,000 medical doctors and practitioners have left Nigeria to Canada, America, and UK. Why? Because the security is not secure. How can you be a medical practitioner? Your primary objective is supposed to save the life of people that are about to die. Now, as you are trying to save the lives of people that are about to die, what happens? Fulani terrorist is pointing gun on your head. Now, tell me, how can you save the life of those people? You are a medical practitioner. Your work is supposed to save people's life. You're trying to save people's life, and other people are standing to take your own life. Can you be secure doing that kind of job in that country for the next 1 week? No. They have to where they value their services. That is why America, Canada, UK open their arms wide to give you visa. Even at that, you are paying for the visa with a huge amount of money. because they need your services and they know your importance. So you have to come over there and then be working in their medical sector, working in their engineering sector, working in their legal sector, working in all the sectors that you are useful. But in one Nigeria, how far has it been good to you? 95% of you in the public market are graduates. Since you finished school, did you get jobs? No. The jobs in one Nigeria is either Adamu is the one that will get it, or Musa is the one that will get it. But Ngozi and Chukwu Emeka cannot get it. Okon and Effiong cannot get it. Nkechi cannot get it. Why is it so? Because you have not come to the understanding and the reality. It is only people that have money to invest and start something that can be able to sustain. If you are living on a paid job, it's either you're earning 10,000 naira or 15,000 naira in a country where it is acclaimed to be a secular state, where you have oil and gas. You are buying the petrol now or kerosene or diesel at the price of 600 naira and 900 naira in your own country. Whereas where I am now, you don't buy petrol or diesel or fuel or kerosene more than €1.50. €1.50. That €1.50, the equivalent is like in naira, whether 400 or now. But how much are you buying fuel? You're buying at 600 naira upward. Maybe so. This country, I'm telling you now, produce this oil and gas in your own villages. Your village in Akwa Ibom, your village in Cross River, in Imo, your village in Enugu, your village in Abia, in Anambra, has one natural resources or another. But you are not benefiting from the dividends of democracy. Pastor and the church. Preach the reality. Tell the people that the Fulani terrorists have killed over 100 million for the past 8 years of Buhari. And they are coming for more. That is why they made sure Muslim ticket was achieved. When they were telling you, you people were taking it to be a joke. Now, Erufai is telling you that we will make sure we sustain it for the next 20 years, whether you like it or not. He's doing you to your faces. He said when we started campaigning for it, the Christian Association of Nigeria, they were not taking us serious. But now, since we achieved it and Asiwaju Tinubu is there and we have Shetima, two Muslim, he said the Christian Association of Nigeria are quiet, they cannot say anything. And that replicates to you, churches, because you are working under the ethics of that Christian Association of Nigeria. What they don't say you should preach, you don't preach. What they say preach is what you preach. That is why you deceive the congregations. They will go out from your churches and Fulani terrorists will ambush them on the road and cut their head off. Tomorrow you come and carry a dead body and come and bury and be singing, oh, God give, God take, God give back at walk there. Mad people everywhere. Because you use your brain. Preaching more of carry weapon and you preaching that you carry to go and weapon that they are coming to come and kill you with. You all to Biafra, making sure that Biafra is still alive. Today was sit at home and the records are remarkable. More kudos to you all and keep the flag flying above sea level. We shall be coming back again in a joint broadcast of the media team. So stay tuned and stay focused. Remember that it is either Biafra or nothing.
See, Buhari, the rulers, they show small Mesuya paper with your complaint. No worry, Tinubu go come now, go see Shege. How much more you want when I didn't be paid? I go buy Suya Sundays here. I go give me Suya no poo paper. How can you say meat for me no poo paper? Oh, guy, you are an ingrate. I say, how? He said, look at the newspaper I used to sell suya for you. Which person picture they for there? I look at, I say, Buhari. He said, which paper you want to pass this guy? See, Buhari, the rulers, they show us most moments we are paper with your complaint. No worry, Tinubu go come now go see shege. When I remember we are paper with your complaint, how much them be paper? I go buy suya Sundays here. I go give me suya no put paper. I can't complain. How can you say meat for me no put paper? I go keep provoke. Oh, guy, you are an ingrate. I say, how? He said, look at the newspaper I used to sell suya for you. Which person picture they for there? I look at, I say, Buhari. He said, which paper you want to pass this guy? See, Buhari, the rulers, they show us most moments we are paper with your. No worry, Tinubu go come now go see shege. When I remember with the complaint, how Yoruba man when I didn't be paper. I go buy suya Sundays here. I go give me suya no put paper. How can they meet for me no put paper? I go keep provoke. Oh, guy, you are an ingrate. I say, how? He said, look at the newspaper I used to sell suya for you. Which person picture they for there? I look at, I say, Buhari. He said, which paper you want to pass this guy? See, Buhari, the rulers, they show us most moments we are paper with your complaint. No worry, Tinubu go come now go see shege. When I remember we are paper with your complaint, how much more Yoruba man when I didn't be paper? I go buy suya Sundays here. I go give me suya no put paper. I can't complain. You say meat for me no put paper. I go keep provoke. Oh, guy, you are an ingrate. I say, how? He said, look at the newspaper I used to sell suya for you. Which person picture they for there? I look at, I say, Buhari. He said, which paper you want to pass this guy? See, Buhari, the rulers, they show us most moments we are paper with your complaint. No worry, Tinubu go come now go see shege. When I remember we are paper, much more Yoruba man when I didn't be paper. I go buy suya Sundays here. I go give me suya no put paper. I can't complain. How can you say meat for me no put paper? I go keep provoke. Oh, guy, you are an ingrate. I say, how? He said, look at the newspaper I used to sell suya. Which person picture? I look at, I say, Buhari. He said, which paper you want to pass this guy?
And all the peoples around the world, for God's sake, giving your likely elected governments the benefit of the doubt. They are not doing of that. They are not. Stop rationalizing whatever your government is doing. Stop rationalizing and come up with some good intentions. They have no good intentions. Never. As I said before, in the entire history of mankind, there has never been a political elite concerned about the well-being of regular people. And it isn't any different now. Why should it? Stop giving them the benefit of the doubt. Because I can tell you, you cannot comply your way out of a tyranny. It is impossible. Trying to do so, you will only feed a gigantic alligator in the hopes of being eaten last. But guess what? Your turn will come, and you will be the one swallowed up. I also have to ask the people, Lens, speak up. For God's sake, stop complying. Start rebelling. They're out to get you if you do not resist. I would also urge you to stop voting for those who inflict the psychological abuse on you, who mock you for their own good. In order to deal with this unfree world, to defy this unfree world, I have decided to become so absolutely free that my very existence is an act of rebellion. And that's what I do. And all the peoples around the world, for God's sake, stop giving your democratically elected governments the benefit of the doubt. They are not deserving of that. They are not. Stop rationalizing whatever your government is doing. Stop rationalizing with some good intentions. They have good intentions. Never, as I said before, in the entire history of mankind, there has never been a political elite concerned about the well-being of regular people. And it isn't any different now. Why should it? Stop giving them the benefit of the doubt. Because I can tell you, you cannot comply your way out of a tyranny. It is impossible. Trying to do so, you will only feed a gigantic alligator in the hopes of being eaten last. But guess what? Your turn will come, and then you will be the one swallowed up. I also have to ask the people, end your silence. Speak up. For God's sake, stop complying. Start rebelling. They're out to get you if you do not resist. I would also urge you to voting for those who inflict this psychological abuse on you, who mock you for their own good. In order to deal with this unfree world, to defy this unfree world, I have decided to become so absolutely free that my very existence is an act of rebellion.